Hi everyone, and welcome to Science at Home. My name is Anna. It's nice to see you again. And I'm talking today with Jorick Vink, one of the astronomers at the Observatory. Hi Jorick.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Right. The sun is just coming out.
Oh yes, it's been lovely weather, although we're supposed to expect rain. Who knows? So I'm just going to start right into the interview. Are you happy enough?
Yeah, sure.
Brilliant. So where are you from and how did you get to be here in Armagh in the first place?
I came by plane, but that was not the question, I guess. So I'm Dutch. Did my PhD in Utrecht in the Netherlands. Also my undergraduate in Utrecht. It's the fourth largest city in the Netherlands. I did my master's at NASA in the US though.
Wow.
And then after the PhD, I went to London, Imperial College London, for 2 postdocs. And then I went to the north of England, Keele University, for a year. And then I came to Armagh. So been here for 12 years, I think.
Wow, that's
Mostly research. I've also spent some time at the Planetarium during the merger. So I was the acting director during the merger of the Observatory and Planetarium. 15 months or something like that. Yeah.
Brilliant. What attracted your attention to Armagh in the first place?
Well, it's a rich history.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very nice. There's a lot of potential.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's a lovely place.
Yeah.
So can you very briefly explain the type of research you do?
Yeah, it's to do with massive stars. So these are like 100 times more massive than the sun, but they are a million times brighter. So you can see them out to very large distances. So they can be used as cosmological distance ladders. And at the end of their lives, they collapse, their cores collapse, and they make black holes. So we try to understand where the black hole masses come from. The gravitational wave observatories a couple of years ago, there was a discovery that these black holes were very heavy, 30, 40 times more massive than the sun. And it was a big surprise to a lot of people. So we tried to understand why that is. And we have some good ideas about it makes a big difference whether you're in a galaxy like our own with normal chemical mixture. But if you go to galaxies that were earlier in the universe, earlier parts of the earlier times, they were more pristine. So there were fewer metals available. And that meant that there was much less loss of mass from these stars. And that meant that the mass was intact and that these massive stars could really collapse to very heavy black holes. So that's the research that I'm involved in. Yeah.
Brilliant. That sounds really interesting. I'm sure a lot of people are very interested in black holes, so that's...
Oh yes, absolutely.
Very fun research, I'm sure.
Especially the spaghettification seems to be something very interesting. If you approach a black hole and your head goes faster than your feet, then you get spaghettified. Yeah.
Now, I think a lot of people have the idea of astronomers as sitting in a dark room looking through a telescope. Have you used telescopes in your research?
Yeah. Most of my research is theoretical, so computer simulations, but I have been privileged enough to go to telescopes as well, in Chile and Australia and Canary Islands, and I like observing. It's nice. You feel closer to the stars.
Yeah, I can imagine it'd be quite calming. Well, I suppose unless you're looking for something in particular.
Very peaceful. It's very yeah, enlightening almost. Yeah.
Brilliant. So what's the most difficult part of your research? I mean, it probably all sounds difficult to me, but what do you find the most difficult?
Lots of difficult aspects, but I think it depends from person to person. I don't really like to get stuck with computers. So if I have a new version of my code or some program and it suddenly doesn't like the new operating system and there's all kinds of problems, I get very frustrated. I don't like that. So I find
anyone would, yeah.
No, some people like it. Some people they quite enjoy that.
It's a challenge.
They don't get as frustrated with that as I do, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So I like it.
So, have you always loved astronomy, or did you come to that later in life?
No, I've always loved astronomy. Mostly the big questions. So when I was younger, I was always asking questions about how big is the universe and where's the edge of the universe and why are we here. And I was always very interested in these philosophical questions, I would say. I think that's really what drew me to astronomy. So I didn't have my own telescope as a teenager or anything like that, but it was more these philosophical questions that drew me in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning having been to a few places, Australia, Canary Islands. Do you have a favourite out of those places? One of the coolest or unusual places you've been?
No, I liked them all. They all have their own. Australia was exciting. Coonabarabran was a very nice place, and Chile's been very nice people. The Canary Islands, La Palma is an amazingly beautiful island. Can do some really nice hikes there. What I like also a lot, I think that astronomy helped me, was to go and see some countries in the East, so like China and Japan. I don't think I would have ever been there if it wasn't for my work. So because the cultures are so different there, I thought that was very, especially Japan. I loved Japan. Very nice culture, and people were very friendly, and I think that was the nicest place I would say that I visited.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question. Do you think that more people should consider science for their future career? And if so, why?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's fun. It's exciting. Astronomy is very exciting. But any science is interesting, I think, for lots of people. Whether you do biology or astronomy, you can learn things that are actually important to make a real contribution to society, not just some sort of epsilon contribution somewhere, but to really make a breakthrough.
Yeah.
And and I also think that science is, it's not just the topic that you work on, it's also the process. And I think a lot of people in society don't really know what science is. They think it's all about facts, but actually it's not about facts. It's about finding the facts. So it's really about the process. There is a truth out there, and we may only partially know it, or we may not be there yet. So we need to find out. And I think that is a very noble process. Because often people jump to thinking that they know the truth, but they don't. So that becomes then dogmatic ideological thinking. And I think that is a hindrance to progress in society. Whereas I think if more people would follow the scientific process of, well, let's keep an open mind here and use critical thinking and get to the truth, then I think we would have a better society.
That's a very important skill, critical thinking.
Yeah. And I think especially today, I think there's a lot of fake news out there. And I think we need to go back to basics in our societies. And I think scientific progress, the process of science is where we need to go. And listen to each other very carefully, not jump to conclusions, and put each other into a box of, oh, this person said that, then they must also think that. Well, that's not a logical thinking. Let's actually have a conversation and learn and find the truth together. So yeah, that's the exciting part. But it will be it'll take us some time to get there. But I hope we will eventually get there.
Yeah.
So yes,
sounds like a lovely ideal future.
It is an ideal, but it's possible. I think we've come a long way in our societies, and I think we're getting there. But sometimes we get distracted by people's fears. But I think if people see a little bit beyond that and try to find the truth, then we can get there. So I think science can help, and do something exciting, whether it's physics or biology, but something that gets you going.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, thank you for talking to me, Jorick. That was a really interesting interview. Hope to see you again in the future. Sometimes we do little Q&As, so if you're interested in that, by all means.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
You've suddenly become very dark. I hope it's not the big cloud
It has, hasn't it?
Right.
All right. Thank you very much, Jorick.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
I hope to see everyone again on Science at Home. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.